Starting now. Okay. It's just like the longest delay to go on live. Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with a rather rowdy bunch of men. Matt likes comics, Halya, and Collecto6. And they were discussing the fine intricacies of saving videos and editing videos.
Intricacies we were talking about.
Yes. I didn't say I could speak. That's like not my skill set. But yeah. So now everyone's quiet. You guys were like so talkative like just a minute ago.
We're waiting to hear we're waiting to hear what the Major Domo has to say.
Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. I've had it happen before where videos disappear and it's sad and it's more tragic to the video channel owner than it is to anyone else because
I disagree with that. blood, sweat, and tears.
Sometimes the subject of the video also becomes very emotionally entangled in said deleted video.
That's it.
It was an adventure.
Only my childhood favorite. Only stories I've never said before. I'll never say again. You know, that's
it was cool when you told the meaning of life and cure for cancer.
No, I was talking about Saturn Girl and Phantom Lady and all these other ones that were in there. Timber Wolf and
Phantom Girl,
Blockade Boy, Phantom Girl. I just want to see if you were listening. So anyway, it's all right, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone forever, and that's all there is to it. First, it's the crinkly microphone. Then it's the delete button. God knows what it's going to be next. If he has access to atomic weapons, we are in deep trouble.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. I have to fill out the form.
I saw that. Fiddle Chips comment. Do it. Okay, so I'm going to quickly say hi to the chat. Well, Susie was first. Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Sue.
JX. Werewolf.
Roof.
Oh yeah. Which
again.
I always say hi to you anyways. Kenny Numbers and Fiddle Chips.
Fiddle.
And
hi, Fiddle.
And that's it. Okay.
What happened to our Lyle?
Lyle and Kim Munin. There's a bunch of people that are the regulars that aren't here. That's very sad.
Our regulars are regular.
Asian with benefits. That's interesting.
Hot dog.
Oh, they must have heard I'm. They must have heard I'm coming tonight.
Man.
So yeah. So
it is a powdered toast man. That's nice.
I actually have powdered toast man. That comic.
I know. First appearance. Newsstand. 9.8. Got it cheap.
I don't know if it's a 9.8, but I bought it when it was out, when it first came out.
When it was out.
I got a stack this big to show tonight. I'm just pointing out.
I'm not even sure what I'm going to show. I'll just show some random stuff.
That's all I ever
I'm
show.
I'm assuming that Open by Chance has had a change of heart.
I don't know. I sent him a link on Instagram. I'm not sure how much he follows Instagram. I might have to, during one of the breaks, I'll run downstairs and email him the link.
Don't run, just walk.
Okay, I can do that. So actually, I'll show some cool books too. I have a bunch around me. Like, you should see the stacks. It's crazy. Like, it's like
good.
Mm-hmm. So some cool books there.
Mine are my place is starting. It's starting to get that. I had to buy another small box this week.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Just to cover our last.
You never buy long boxes, do you? Like you don't go with the.
I can't.
No, it's better not to.
I can't.
Short boxes are better.
I can't. The long boxes when they're full are too heavy for me to lift. Than I'm allowed. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I find I have 6 long boxes on the floor, and they just take up too much dang space.
They do take up a lot of space.
Okay, I'm at 71 short boxes.
Wow.
That'll do something.
That's equivalent to like 35-ish. Like I consider a short box is like half a long box, right?
Although they are. Although Nate, I will tell you that behind those pictures, all of those ones in my system there are all long boxes, but they sit on heavy boards with the double piano hinges or whatever it is, rollers. So you just roll the things out.
Yeah.
You don't have to lift them at all, which is very nice indeed. Hi, Still 35. I remember when I was 35. I'm
And
twice
Last
the man I was. Hello, Last.
And Kenneth.
Big Ken.
So what I was gonna say is okay, so one of you guys, whoever wants to go first, can show some books. I'll be back.
I think Steven should go first.
No. I want Mr. Nate to go because he is a guest,
Mm.
and I'm old shoe. I'm old hat.
He's
I
here
could-
all the time. He's
I am
he's
here
like
all
a
the
regular
time.
now. He's a
I'm like
regular.
I'm at least a renter. I don't have a mortgage, but you know, I'm a tenant.
He's a tenant, yeah. So there.
Lay it
So,
on Mr. Nate.
Okay,
All right.
well, I guess Nate, you're going to go first.
Okay,
Whether you
all
like
right.
it or not.
Sounds good. All right, I'm actually going to jump over here and grab a couple of books. Not everything, but a lot of books that I have right now are brand new, just came out. So I'm going to start with one that I kind of liked. So the EC relaunch that they've been doing. This one is Epitaphs from the Abyss, issue 3. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of feel like this was one of the weaker ones. It only had 3 stories in it. The first story was kind of cool. So they have a new, instead of a crypt keeper, they have the grave digger is your narrator that gets you through the stories. And I liked the first one took place. It was a girl who is an attendant in a morgue. And so I liked the theme of this one. This one felt like an EC story too, because it had kind of a twist at the end. And then I'm going to be honest, like I'm looking at the other ones. The thing this one had going for it more than anything else was Charlie Adler art. He did a lot of Walking Dead. But all in all, the stories weren't as good as some of the other ones were. Another one, yeah, I guess I'm just going to go in order of disappointment here and get better. X Factor relaunched, and so this is the second issue. I can't remember if this came out last Wednesday or the Wednesday before. I really like X Factor. It's one of the few X books that I collected.
Don't think it was this Wednesday because I don't remember seeing it on the current shelf at my store.
Yeah, I didn't think it was either. I only get in about every 2 to 3 weeks for my pull list. And so the first issue of this was actually really clever. They created a new mutant, team basically through TikTok. And at the end of the first issue, a lot of the team was dead and they had to, have like a American Idol style vote to get new team members. And this one just felt very stally. Like there just wasn't much happening. And at the very end of the issue, they give you a blurb for what's coming next. And when I read that blurb for what's going to come in the next issue, I was just like, well, why didn't that just happen in this one? Because not much else happened. And I hate to say this. So Dazzler miniseries, Dazzler #1, just not great. I was really disappointed with it. And I've been looking forward to this since I heard that they were going to do it. The Terry
Dazzler's
Dodson,
one of your favorites, eh?
Dazzler is one of my favorites. I love the 80s book. I think it's really silly and fun to read. So the Terry Dodson cover is really good. There are some, I think, good ideas in this. The art is okay. Like to me, it just looks like every other modern Marvel book right now. There was nothing nothing really jumped out at me. And like I said, there were some good ideas in it. Like because they're a band and because people don't like mutants and they went to play this show, their drummer her name is Shark Girl. And she has there she is on the drums. And, she's got a head of a shark and they give her
Does she have opposable thumbs or is she?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they look kind of finny.
Other
she
than
has
that, it's completely real, Matt.
No, it's because to hold drumsticks, you kind of need to have thumbs,
No, she's a mutant and her fingers actually attract wood and she doesn't need an opposable thumb.
That's good.
And they tell her that they don't want people to be freaked out. So they're going to have her wear the Nightcrawler disguise collar thing. So I kind of liked some of the themes that they had, but they just never really stuck with anything. And a villain shows up at the concert and it was just I don't know. It wasn't very good.
That's not the first shark drummer ever either.
I picked that up too this week.
You sound like Alan Pollock.
Well,
that's not the first
No.
appearance.
No.
That's not the first
Jabberjaw.
appearance.
The
Oh,
TV
Jabberjaw.
cartoon guy. And
I
he
actually had the
had
first
been-
appearance of Jabberjaw.
Alan, you said you got this. This is like my pick of whatever it is I picked up. I don't know if this came out on Wednesday or not too,
It
but
came out last week.
yeah,
I-
last
this
week,
week.
and that's one I was looking at, but I wanted to hear reviews first.
well, I'll give you my
Hey,
review.
What happened
I
to the
love
lower
it.
right-hand corner? Or is that just the way it's printed? Did
What's
you lose
that?
your corner? The corner of the book?
No, that's there's a bar that goes across the bottom. It's not. That's actually.
Yeah, it looks like one of those bars for a construction.
Yeah.
One of those steel bars.
So the story in this is that, you know, Plastic Man is not taken very seriously as a hero. He's on the Justice League, but he's always in the background. And at one point, I really liked all of the big heroes. Wonder Woman would be talking and her speech bubble covered up his, even though he's saying really important stuff. He takes a death ray to the face for the team.
Nice.
And he starts melting. You can see it on the cover. And he goes to see a doctor, and the doctor tells him, well, you know, over time plastic breaks down, and I mean that's what I see happening here. So I can't tell if it's the death ray or if it's just, you know, you're at your half-life for being a plastic man, but yeah, you're probably dying. You should get your affairs in order.
Maybe it's
Um,
biodegradable
Hilarious
plastic.
because a couple times he was listed as being immortal because of his.
Yeah. So you have this really like cartoony art when he's with the Justice League, and then when it's his like real life, it's very moody and much more layered. I really liked this. I thought this was. I mean, I'm excited to read the rest of this. I assume it's a miniseries, probably not an ongoing.
I saw it. I
Um,
saw it as a mini series.
Yeah,
I think it's 6 issues.
Wow.
really.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not. They're not just 4 anymore. Usually, Jenny Sparks is 6.
Yeah,
So
and
they're
Jenny
doing
Sparks.
that too. They're not going to do an ongoing series. They're just going to leave it as like a mini series every time now.
It
I missed
depends on. It depends on the way DC works. It depends on sales. If sales are great by issue 5, they'll extend it.
Well, that's like my new. That's my new pickups. That's what I got first, Alan.
Where'd you
You can
get that?
unembiggen
Where'd you get
me.
that note?
I got
Oh,
that
I'm a big
from
fan.
I got that from dealers because they say they know month to month now how many get ordered, and so they know how
Yeah.
many sales they're going to have, and if the sales continue, because you always have the boost with the number 1, and then number 2 is always about half,
Yeah.
and then if the series is really good, you see 3 actually pick up and hold that number 2 sale. Otherwise, if it keeps going down like this, then they stop. That's what happened to Supergirl eventually.
Hmm.
Mm.
I wonder if
Mm.
you know the problem is Plastic Man is one of those characters that not many people really know or appreciate.
Yeah,
So even if the story is well written, how many people read it and then tell the world that it's a great story to read?
The
Right?
thing about it
There's
is,
just one person.
I think it's just
I'll read it
me.
and I'll give you my opinion as well at some point.
the thing is, it's tongue in cheek, and he breaks the fourth wall, and I
Yeah.
just don't think that works well. I like my heroes to be heroic and play it straight. I don't
Does he
care
break
for
the
the.
fourth wall?
I'm not into Sapphire. I mean,
In this
Sapphire.
one, he doesn't break the fourth. I actually, something else I really liked about this is because if you know anything about Plastic Man, he started off as a villain, or at least as a bad guy, as a thief, and they do that part of his story too. Like,
Alan was the Golden Age Plastic Man a thief?
Yes,
he
he was
so
Eel
when
O'Brien.
his first appearances, maybe he was like
No, what happened was his name was Eel O'Brien. He was a member of the mob, and then he had an accident. He turned into the Plastic Man, and he decided to, because he had this new life, he'll make a new life, and he went to the FBI and went completely
he
180.
became a good guy.
So he basically got his powers and betrayed all of his friends.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
yes. But the thing is, the
That's a
reason
great
he
way
was
to
in
start.
the reason he was in trouble in the first place was because his friends decided he needed to go. They weren't his friends anymore.
Didn't they put him in a big vat of chemicals or something weird
Yes.
like that?
and that's what gave him his Plastic Man powers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a while since I read it, so yeah. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I'll go next. If
I'll
Steven
go.
does.
I'll go.
Then Steven
I'll
should
go.
go.
No, you go ahead, Matt. You want to go ahead.
Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna go first. So there.
Okay, well there you go.
Using the
go.
power of his channel.
Just the power of my channel. Since you guys showed Plastic Man, I have in front of me Plastic Man's first appearance.
Oh wow.
So this is Police Comics number
Yes,
one,
number one.
and he's even on the cover.
Yeah.
Plastic Man with those iconic glasses that he wears.
Goggles.
Goggles. I
Goggles.
love them.
Yeah.
The goggles, though, are to hide his identity. That much I remember. No, so that people would
I
not.
know.
I mean, it's so that people wouldn't recognize him as E.L. O'Brien and go,
Mhm.
"Oh wait, he's still alive."
So he wore a mask so people wouldn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Alan,
Yes,
you
but
know
the
that
mask was part of his face because I mean, he could do whatever he wanted, right?
he
His
could turn it,
costume's part of him.
he could turn it different color. He could turn his body different colors too.
That I don't think.
He
I
could
think so.
stretch different shapes and stuff. He could actually kind of stretch out different parts of the colors and stuff. Yeah.
So, and how did he get his costume that would stretch with him?
It's
Okay,
part
never
of him.
mind. Do you know if
I
you
think
look at those
so.
glasses, it's not a Harlequin mask; it's an infinity mask because it's a infinity is a sideways 8. Look at those glasses. See, it's like an infinity. Those are see how it looks like the infinity sign. Those
Yep,
are the
I can see
infinity goggles.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I
And
just
this
made
is
it
also
up.
the first appearance of Phantom Lady, by the way.
Yeah. And Firebrand and the Human Bomb, I think. And
Yeah,
who's the guy in
and
the bottom?
Mouthpiece. Yeah, Mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece. But
I
he
don't know.
didn't last.
I'm
very
banking
long.
on the mouthpiece myself.
Yeah, I can see that. And, the next one, just one more Plastic Man, since I do love Plastic Man. So this is Plastic Man number 1.
The Game of
It's-
Death.
And it's a pretty cool Plastic Man cover. It's like got this crazy skull thing going on.
Yeah, I like that skull.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice one. It's missing the centerfold, so that's why it's lower grade. But yeah, okay, so that's mine. Okay, I'll let you guys go back. I just figured since you guys were talking about
No,
Plastic
that's a
Man,
good thing. That the Police Comics number 1 is a really big key.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can also tell if you were to read it, the first person in it is Firebrand. Firebrand was meant to be the big draw. That's why he got the cover and the but 5 issues in, Plastic Man replaced him. So on the
I think
covers
Plastic
and as
Man
the
was
first
cooler
picture.
because of the powers, right? People were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is really."
Firebrand was just a guy in a see-through shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sh- Can we talk more about that?
Well, the only reason I know it's see-through is I've read All-Star Comics 5, where his sister becomes the new Firebrand, and she takes what was his costume and feminizes it a little, and she wears that, and he's like, "Come on, big brother, a see-through shirt." That's why I know. Anyway,
Okay.
okay. The
And
first
it's
book
pink
I'm
too,
going
by
to
the
show
way.
you is Superman 249. It is the first appearance of probably the best Bronze Aged Superman villain in terms of the introduced Terra Man. Yes, a cowboy on a flying horse. He was inspired by the Clint Eastwood character from the spaghetti westerns, the guy, you know, the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly guy, whatever his
High
name
Plains
was.
Drifter.
Yeah, the drifter, whatever. And what happened was Terra Man was a kid in the 1800s when aliens came by and kidnapped him. And they kept him on the ship for a long time to learn about Earth people. So what happens is he aged very slowly. Somehow he got a horse with wings, and the aliens brought him back to Earth. Only was 120 some years later. So he's still got the attitudes and the education of a 19th century cowboy.
That's funny.
The next 2 books, there was this storyline. It was the first storyline with Denny O'Neil in Superman, where first of all, kryptonite turned to iron on Earth, but the explosion that destroyed the kryptonite and turned it into iron also opened a rift between dimensions and brought a creature through that formed himself out of sand and was known as the Sand Superman. This Sand Superman story went on for about 8 issues and was one of the best-selling storylines of the 1970s. certainly from DC's point of view. I have 2 books here from that run. Superman 240. Now, the key about the Sandman Superman is he is similar to the Parasite in that he steals some of Superman's power every time he comes near him. And that was how they had intended to depower Superman and bring him down to Earth a little bit, was by using this Super Sandman. But what happened was he lost so much power, and in this particular book, he ends up with brain damage due to the fight. Then he gets his powers back, and the brain damage is permanent as a result, and Superman starts failing because he's not thinking straight.
So wait. If it's permanent, they must fix the brain damage at some point.
I'm getting there. Okay. In the next issue, a second creature got through the dimensional rift.
A brain damaging fixing
Yes.
monster?
So now there are 2 sand creatures. They're from a plane called Quorum. Okay. There are 2 sand creatures. The second being having gone into a paper mache thing made for Chinese New Year celebration. And that's the guy on the cover here. And he manages to siphon off enough of Superman's power that they're able to do the brain surgery and fix him because his power. Wonder Woman is the one that discovers him. She's in her mod at the time. Her and I Ching help Superman out, and they get him to the hospital. And while he's unconscious and vulnerable, they do the brain surgery.
Wow.
And in the last issue, which I have, but I don't have it out. The last issue, there is a final fight. The Sand Superman and Superman manage to get the Chinese one into the rift and get rid of him. But he takes 1/3 of the powers with him when he's gone. Then the Sand Superman and Superman, who are now equal, end up in a fight. The key was they couldn't touch each other during the thing, or it was like a negative positive energy thing. But I Ching did something to allow them to touch each other. And there's this big fight, and they wipe out the world. And Superman goes, "Oh no, I can't do it." It turns out it was an illusion used by I Ching. And the Sand Superman felt so bad that he willingly went through, because he saw it as well. He willingly went back. And Superman willingly gave up that extra power. And that's how they depowered Superman. That's how they were planning to depower him on a permanent basis. But it didn't last long.
How do you feel about that plot device, Matt? What do you think about that as a plot device?
I thought it was great. This is one of the stories that made me a Superman fan as a kid.
Having him lose half his power?
Well, I mean, it was a case of, he was so powerful. He could move universes, it felt like, here, I got to move this star. Woo! I mean, there's an adventure comic.
Spin the Earth and stuff, too.
Like he could do anything. They needed to depower him a little in order to have some sort of, especially since they removed kryptonite. At the time, they had turned it all to iron. Eventually, his powers get back, and they explain that later by, well, he's still there. He's still getting power from the sun. And he gets stronger and stronger the longer he lives. And the thing is, as a kid, I'm like, whoa, what a hero! That's awesome. And I've still loved it.
What year was that?
1971, because it started with the Kryptonite Evermore. Everyone knows that cover. That's the Neil Adams cover where he's bursting through the chains of kryptonite.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the beginning of this whole storyline.
Fair enough.
Okay. And as I said, Denny O'Neil was coming in with the director's approval, Julius Schwartz's approval, depower Superman. Let's have stories again where he can be defeated. And that was what was going on, because the 60s, he was too powerful. They all had those ridiculous stories with Lois Lane and Jimmy, right? Where Superman was a dick.
I love those stories.
Yes, they're fun stories, but they weren't selling anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
The Bronze Age was when, the Bronze Age at DC was behind because Marvel was showing what was selling. So DC finally got around to doing some of the same stuff. They took their time getting there. This whole Kryptonite Nevermore / Depowering Sandman was an attempt to make Superman more relatable again. And the next book I'm going to show is Legends 1, the first appearance of Amanda Waller. Just because I think it's a great cover.
Yeah, I like Darkseid on that cover a lot. Always have.
So Stepo can go now if he'd like.
All right. Let me switch it up. Whoops. There you go.
I have some newer books to show.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the big
Oh,
three
these just came out too.
in a foil.
Mm-hmm. I think I picked that one up too when it came out.
Here is Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot.
Very nice. Okay. Do you know? I have a quick story I actually learned about Gal Gadot this week.
Okay, tell it.
She was actually going to be in the Superman movie as Farora. You know, the one that is the sidekick to General Zod.
Oh, wow.
Oh, like Man of Steel, you mean?
Yes. Yes, in Man of Steel. She was going to be that character, and then she got pregnant.
Yes.
So she had to drop out, and they replaced her with the girl who was doing it, but that made her available. They kept her in mind, and that's why she became Wonder Woman, because they really wanted to work with her after the first one didn't work out.
She was a good choice for Wonder Woman, I think.
Oh, she's a fantastic choice. I can't see anybody else now from this era as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Are they going to use her in the future still?
Well, she's been technically fired, I think.
Yeah,
But, yeah, that's what
I
I
don't
thought.
think so. I'm pretty sure James Gunn wants to move forward with pretty much all new people.
I mean,
I think
in some
it's
ways, it's a
stupid,
good way
frankly.
to. What?
I think that's stupid
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
that
she
good.
was a really good Wonder Woman.
She is a good Wonder Woman, totally.
And I feel like Henry Cavill got screwed over too.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That whole cast for Justice League was perfect, except
Yeah.
maybe the Flash.
Actually, I didn't mind the Flash guy.
I did.
He messed
I
up
mean,
big time. He screwed
He's
up.
messed up in real life, but I think he did a good job of the
Well, it's
Flash.
sort of like the guy that was in Transformers. I just can't. I have no
Shia
interest.
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. I have no interest in seeing anything he's in.
Well, yeah, I always try to distinguish the different, the difference between the actor and their life.
Is that a Crow Christmas cover?
It sure is.
What
Very
the
nice.
hell?
And it is signed by Mr. O'Barr right there.
That is
Wow.
I mean, things I didn't know I existed that I now need in my life. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a cool.
Tony Sanders, the Tone. If you go on the Geeky Dad auction, this is where I got this one. And he got, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And he got them all signed. He found he was at some shop, and he found all of the Caliber Christmas. It by itself is a $50 book, but then it's signed to boot. He snapped them up, and then he saw O'Barr, and he paid the fee to have him sign them. And O'Barr will only sign things that he actually did. Our friend Bleecker found that out, much to his chagrin, that Mr. O'Barr was, and I understand if it isn't his thing and it wasn't licensed and it wasn't authorized by him, that they're basically stealing from him. I mean, because they're using the image and they're using the character without his consent. I do understand that, but he could have been so much more gracious about it when he basically shot. Bleecker was going to come in as the Crow. He had all of his stuff to come in and do that. And Mr. O'Barr just trashed him so badly that it just, and here he is all excited. He talked about it for weeks before he
Yeah.
went. And then the whole thing, and then Barr just crapped all over him. I felt so badly for him. And then he wouldn't put the costume on. He wouldn't do that. And I know for a fact that if he had, he would have been on network news because, I mean, he is the Crow.
Yeah, he does a great job.
So anyway, but I got this from Tony Stark or Tony's
Saunders.
Tony Starks.
Tony Stark, yeah. He came back from the dead. He unsnapped his hand with the Infinity Gauntlet, and
isn't there an Overstreet advisor named Tony Starks?
I think he was. He was a Bronze Age guy. I just got this one in, which is from Pictographic Comics, where they got the rights to do this as an homage to the Weird Mysteries. It is an exact duplicate of the book on the inside, and a very limited edition. 54 is all, because the book came out in 54.
So that's rated as the number 2 cover for Pre-Code Horror, by the way, just so you know.
Wow.
If anyone's wondering. Wow.
And then because this one, the one I just showed you, followed on the heels of this one, which was the Chamber of Chills 19 homage, and there were only 53 of these. And here's a Harley Quinn, but it's not Harley Quinn.
Hardly's Funhouse.
That is really cute.
You can only enter if you're wearing a see-through Firebrand shirt.
I understand those are very popular. That goes to Seinfeld and the shirt he had to wear, whatever that was.
Puffy shirt.
Puffy shirt.
Yes.
This is
like pirate shirt.
Shirt. He had to wear he lost a bet. He lost a bet and he had to wear the pirate shirt. Was that it?
Yeah.
No. He promised.
No, he wore it. He thought it was cool.
No, he didn't. What happened, if I remember correctly, was Kramer was dating this girl who created the shirt, and she was a low talker, and he couldn't understand what she was saying. And apparently, because of that, he said yes to one of her things, and apparently he agreed to wear the shirt on Johnny Carson.
Oh, wow.
That's what happened, if I remember correctly.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen those.
Here is Nathan Zerdy with the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, that's a nice. I admit, since the movie Scarlet Witch,
the Virgin
variant. Do you remember that you made a promise to somebody there, Stephen?
Weird Tales Batgirl pulp. Oh, you wanted to see it?
Yeah.
Wait, but Alan, you said to me. No, wait a minute. You said to me that we would show that when it was pulps. I will show it now if you would like me to.
Yeah, just show it now, anyways. But not wait, not now. Huh? Show next round. Like, don't just randomly get up and like walk away from the stream. Wait.
Well, I'm not walking far. You'll see my ass the whole time.
No, we don't want to
giving
see
the
your
people
ass.
what they want.
Yeah, I'm trying to help out. Next thing you know, next thing you tell me, you'll tell me you deleted this, right? This broadcast.
It's already been deleted. It's deleted as we're recording. Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm a big Vampirella fan, so anything with her on it is gonna be awesome. That one's really cool.
I'm not sure who did this.
Callie likes the Space Ghost shirt.
See,
even thank JX you.
Says Steven's twerking.
God help you.
Lyle says ass pulps. Oh, there's a good one.
I know that cover.
Oh, now who's the artist of that one again?
It doesn't say. It looks like Zerdy or Will Jack, but I don't think it is.
There's a bunch that kind of have that style. That's why
I think it's.
Yeah, it's not. Let me look. I agree with you.
It's not Lau or one of those ones either, right?
John's Janet. It might be. It could be Seymour Butts. Okay.
Seymour Butts.
Either that or Claude Balls.
Or Hugh Jass. Electra.
Harry Dangler. We had a guy whose name actually was Harry Dangler.
Oh my goodness.
Harry Dangler.
Oof.
And when they would go down, after school, we'd go down to these big department stores that were in downtown Portland when you could do that, Lippman Wolf's. And they had an operator there that if someone got a phone call, they would always ask
shout
them
it out.
to page them for a phone call. Harry Dangler, telephone call for Harry Dangler.
Wow.
And we're all going,
If
That's
I remember,
that, you'd think, like evolution would have eliminated from the, from the,
if
from
I
the
remember
manual.
correctly, there used to be a member of Congress named Dick Sweat from New Hampshire.
Dick Sweat.
Dick Sweat.
Wow.
Well, down here in America, we had Dick Army.
Mm. You Americans have some of the awesomest names. When I'm watching football,
we can't compare with the Canadians. The Canadians gave us Kamala Harris. The Canadians gave us all manner of good stuff.
Actually, it's funny. My wife's real father, like he left her when she was like 6 years old or something like that. But her real father, his name is You Suck.
And he
That's
does.
the Korean name. He's living up to the name. So You Suck.
He did it.
A long time ago, and I don't know when, but this is a long time ago. There was an offering on Instagram. Clayton Crane is a pretty good artist. And he was doing, when he was really kind of getting back into it, I guess he's kind of a schlemiel for something with some guy's wife or something. I have no idea. I won't mix in. But he did this beautiful Silver Surfer black cover. Have you ever seen this?
No,
No,
I've never
That's
seen
cool.
that.
And you see the arm, the way his arm is all lit up. The Power
That is-
Cosmic or whatever. Isn't that
Mhm.
isn't it amazing?
that's really cool.
That's really cool.
And this was a limited edition. There were 1,000 of them, so there are probably some floating. Number 219, is it? 219 out of about 1,000. But they also had one
Hi, Sky.
that was much more limited. It's 213 out of 600, which is the Virgin variant of that same cover, which I think is just a cool book.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Nice.
And
So where did
right
you pick those? Did you pick those up from Tone as well?
No, I didn't even know who Tone was till about 6 months ago.
Okay.
This is a long time ago, Alan. Long time for me is more than 6 months.
Okay.
And then there's this one that came out also around about the same time, but just all kinds of stuff. They got some kind of portal that's opening up to bring all this bad
And
news
this is
in.
the Black Silver Surfer or
And
Silver
this is
Surfer Black?
this is Silver Surfer Black.
Weird.
It says, yeah, Silver Surfer Black. It was a theme at some time, but there it is. It's cool. And I've shown this before, but I like it anyway. It's David Nakayama.
Negative space one or
Wow. It's very nice. No, I see that there's drawing there. They've put there's no negative.
Almost looks like
It's
negative space.
semi-negative space.
Yeah.
This is another one. He did it that way. He did it this way with let's see, this was in March of 2021. He did this one. This was the second one he did. But you look, her face is somewhat anglicized, if you will. Okay.
Yeah,
And the
you should
first
look
one,
Mediterranean too.
and the first Mediterranean. And then the first one that he did was from January of 21. And she is the more Oriental looking gal. Also semi-negative space.
Well, that's Psylocke, isn't it?
It is Psylocke. And who is this?
It's Electra.
That's Elektra.
That's Elektra.
Yeah.
But in other words, thematically is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, okay. It's like it looks like the same body, but yeah, a different girl.
This one I got from Whodat. This is from SMZ Comics. This is serial number 15270.
Did he say Oriental looking? Did you say Oriental looking?
I said the Oriental or Asian, if you will. I don't know what's proper.
It used to be Oriental was fine, but now it's.
Well,
Yeah,
let me put it this way. When you go to the Orient, what are you going to find in the Orient?
Oriental.
You're going to find Orientals. And if you come to the United States, you're going to find Occidentals. Am I upset by the term Occidental? No. It's descriptive. It's not a pejorative, Oriental. Who made that word a pejorative?
Oh, the woke police did. You know how.
Screw them. And this has all 4 remarks of all the different turtles.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Are the actors or the creators?
What?
Who the actors of the turtles?
Are the actors of the turtles?
Yeah, the actors.
Is
that
the
play turtles.
Jabberwocky here or something? What are you talking about?
No, you said that it has all the remarks of the different turtles.
Well, they're all 4 of them right there.
Who did the
can't
remarks?
Oh, it's remarks.
It says Esau and Isaac S. Lorza. And this is an original sketch cover by them.
Oh, wow.
That is an awesome book. Just looking at those remarks, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
See, I can't see the remarks that well. Sorry.
I really want to get you a bigger
Sorry,
screen,
Steve.
Alan.
Sorry, I was thinking you said signatures at first, and then I realized remarks.
That's
Yes.
all right. That's
Sorry.
all right.
I was thinking that's why I was asking, like, if it was signed by the people.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
Okay,
Here
so-
is The Batman Who Laughs by Tony Daniel, November 20th of 21. And this is also serial numbered. And this was a Torpedo Comics exclusive.
Whoa.
Once again by Whodat.
Wow.
Who Dat? That's a good book, but man, I'm telling you, that one gives me nightmares.
That's really creepy, yeah.
I like it.
I'm creeped out. I really can't stand it. I like it.
Yep, I like it.
Who
This
that
is-
always gets good stuff.
Apparently, JX says that we should do a GoFundMe to get Alan a laptop.
He has a computer that he refuses
have-
to use upstairs.
But I find
asked-
my phone gets better.
I've
video
asked him
from
this for 8 to 10 months. And Alan, but I understand why he does this now. And it took me a while to figure it out.
Okay.
That whenever he has something with the Biggie Shack, the Immortal Biggie Shack, when they're having a competition to say what, and say, what is this cover? And it's the first appearance of Schmidlap, right? And so Biggie comes in real quick. He says, the first appearance of Schmidlap. And Alan says, oh, I couldn't see it. I have my phone. But if Alan gets in first, then he gets to say that. And then, but that time he could see it. But when he gets beat, then he can't see it. This is the excuse machine
No. It's not
that
an
he keeps
excuse
with him at
because-
all times, so that when the competition happens or there's some question about something, my screen is so small. Can you have a
No.
larger screen?
No, it
Can you
just
have a
shows.
larger screen? Yes. Do you choose to have a larger screen? No. And that's what you do. So we go through this time and time and time again. I
No.
can't see
It shows
I
my
can't see it.
skill because I can still guess what it is, even though I can barely
You
see
can
it.
still guess what it is. Well, that's the kind of intuitive stuff that we look forward to. And the last one I have here on this Brown is
Isn't it awesome there, Nate, to listen to this?
this was signed by Stan Sakai and another fellow, Morimoto or whatever his name was, and they were both together down at San Diego, and they signed these. And this is the Dark Horse of the Usagi is the Last Ronin, and signed by both of these guys with gold ink, and it's the Virgin variant cover. I really love this book. I think it's beautiful.
That is nice. That's my.
So that's my first chunk of my Friday goodness. And now once I'm off camera,
Okay. Yes.
and my fanny will not offend, I will go over and get that Weird Tales.
Yes, that was the goal.
Because
I
an
thought you
offending
said you weren't
fanny is
gonna do about
there's nothing
fannies.
worse than an offending fanny.
But you're going to get a weird tail.
See,
Yes,
but
I am.
even your wife says you're spicy today.
I am.
Oh yeah, okay. Actually, JX has a solution.
Walk backwards. Good. I'll fall backwards, crack my skull open for you on camera.
Actually,
Moonwalk.
that's
I'll
entertainment.
melon
where we
my
get the
brain
views,
right
Stephen.
against my pinball machines. I would like to thank you very much for looking out for me.
No, that would be very entertaining for the audience. I'm pretty
I see.
sure.
To watch my head cracked open.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you
So it
like
would
that
be-
cover.
Think of
So,
it as a live. I was going to say, think of it as a live version of a PCH.
I see.
Yeah, exactly.
If Mr. Nate could show a book or two, I will get out
Yeah.
some weird
Yeah,
deals
we'll let
for
you
you.
show some
Yeah,
books.
anything to stop you guys from fighting. Matt, have you decided if you want to live with mom or dad, or I don't know who
I
I'm
want
going
to
to go
live with Uncle Bob.
with. So I
lives
love
with you.
following Steven with all of his many expensive variants and limited to 50. I'm going to show you 4 books I found for $1. And I
wow.
don't mean $1 each. These were in a bin for 4 for $1, and I'd never
Oh,
heard
wow.
of it. And I want to know if anyone else has. It's called Gilgamesh 2.
Mm.
So
I didn't even
this
see
is
Gilgamesh 1, so I don't
right.
know.
So Gilgamesh is a legendary hero, and this
And
is
Enkidu is his friend.
very Superman-esque. So in this first issue, this ship is passing by Earth, and they're a generation ship, and they launch 2 aliens to Earth, and one of them kind of grows up to become the president of Earth. This is written by Jim Starlin.
Jim Starling. I was going to ask. I saw the Starling.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it was quite good. It was entertaining. Like, just for a sci-fi story, it was good. Gilgamesh 2 comes from one of the pods lands by these hippies, and these hippies are like all zonked out on weed and acid, and they find this alien baby in a pod, and they decide to raise it, and the woman who decides she's going to take it wants to give it like a heroic name, and she's naming off all these heroes of old, and I just think it's hilarious that they like Gilgamesh 2.
Wow.
It was weird.
So maybe it's like Gilgamesh 2 and there is no Gilgamesh 1.
Yeah, I had never heard of that book, but
least she
since it
didn't
was a
go with
4-issue
Tolkien.
series and they had all 4 for $1, I was like, I can't lose.
Wow.
And I think Jim Starlin is a good writer for that kind of thing. Here's an actual sort of like cool book that I've picked up recently. I love the Marvel 25th anniversary, and
Yes. That is the best Conan cover from that.
it's a really good. Yeah, I mean, I got this for $4 at my LCS, and it's in pretty good shape. And I do want to get like all of them, and I know that I'm going to pay an arm and a leg for Care Bears and Heathcliff and
Not for all.
Ewoks. but-
You're talking about the 25 anniversary cover. So I was going to say Conan the King doesn't cost that much.
No. I mean, they're the weird ones that have this border are way more expensive.
I always wanted to see somebody that, did their back wall with all the different ones. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
that'd be just a cool display.
I had a friend who did that. I had a friend that did that in the 80s. He bought all of the books and he would put them in bags and taped them to his wall.
Oh, that's cool.
So Alan, I had set books aside to do the WTF cover challenge.
Oh, no. You didn't do it?
No, this week at work was just too much. So I brought it here. I brought it to you live.
Okay.
So here's Avengers 230 something. The David Letterman cover. Yeah, 239.
Yes, that's
And
a
Jimmy
fun one.
Carter? Is that
I
No,
did a
it's-
short on that one.
David
it looks
Letterman.
like it does. Okay, it doesn't. It look like Jimmy Carter.
This is from Marvel's Assistant Editor Month, and I really like
Yes.
the box up here has everybody facing the wrong way. You're looking at the back of their heads.
All the
Oh,
assistant
nice.
editors ones are recognizable because they all have go-go checks.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it
really?
looks like Silver Age DC up here, and
Oh,
it even has
wow.
an MC.
And if you'll notice, it says MC.
Yeah.
MC
And
instead
also-
of DC.
Yeah.
Most,
Wow.
at least I've only read a handful of the assistant editor books, but none of them have been very good.
Oh, no.
Iron Man 171, I think one is one of them, or the Iron Man one for sure is pretty good.
Jimmy Olsen, I got this one from my good friend Hagen. So this is 98. Jimmy Bride of the Bride of Jungle Jimmy, where he has to marry a monkey or an ape, no tail,
Okay.
and Superman is the witch doctor who tells him he has to get married to this gorilla. This one, okay, so this is Inferior 5 number 10. So it's a DC title,
Inferior 5, I love them.
but look who's at the bottom. Like the Mr. Fantastic,
Is that Spider-Man?
I mean,
Spider-Man, Mr. Fantastic, the Torch,
the
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 Thing.
Torch, and like Mr. Fantastic doesn't have a 4 on his costume, but Spider-Man is pretty unmistakably Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And it's a DC book. So I really don't know anything about this other than that really strikes me as a serious copy.
Is it a parody comic of?
It is.
It is,
Yeah.
but
So
that
maybe
doesn't
that's-
look like a parody costume.
Let's see.
Like,
Let's see if I remember them all. Hang on. That's Dumb But hold that up for a second. That's Dumb Bunny, the girl.
mhm.
That's Golden Feather or White Feather. It's
I-
one of them. The Blimp Man. Awkward Man is the one that looks like Batman. And there's a Merry Man look is wearing the court jester,
Yeah.
if I remember
Wow.
correctly.
Um,
I really like the Inferior 5. Dumb
is a-
Bunny is the sister of Angel from Angel and the Ape.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, okay. So this is a reprint, but I mean, it's one of those covers that pre-code, like what were
Yeah,
they
it's a
trying to get
little-
away with? They were gonna tick off the wrong person eventually, and this one's pretty dark.
Actually, I almost want to do twinsies with you because it looks slightly different than the real one.
Well, there was one that I did with somebody else, Uncanny Derek. He had the original, and then the one that I had was the reprint was actually a little more gory.
This one looks a little bit more like suggestive than the original.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dark.
Let me get the original. Wait.
Okay.
Wait a second. You just do what you do, and I'll be done.
Okay.
What number is it again?
It is, well, for me, it says Crime Suspense Stories 24. So how about the time the Fantastic Four
Matt Hitler?
had to go back in time and stop Nick Fury from killing Hitler?
I remember that. I have that book, I believe. What number is it? 2.
Fantastic Four 292.
Okay, I don't have that one.
Um,
I have I have 291 and 293. So
I'm not a Fantastic Four collector, but I had to grab this one just because it was just so weird.
you
And
can't
you know
go
what?
wrong. You can't go wrong. I need that book. I'm going to put that in my cart tonight.
I do like She-Hulk, and I like She-Hulk on the Avengers and then the Fantastic Four.
Okay, wait.
This
Go
is,
back to the
okay,
crime
all right.
suspense just for a sec.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can see.
Part of the
Maybe
reason why Nate's cover is a little more gruesome is because they've shifted the picture off a little more, so you get a little more detail of the brick
The axe.
nasty
and,
wall and the axe. They get the full axe.
And
You
his
get
arm
the-
brighter
His
too.
arm looks larger on the reprint.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
have a more complete picture of the guy with the axe than
Mhm.
you do with Alan's cover.
And the mop that's on the other side of the girl seems to be less
Yes,
prominent,
prominent,
on
yeah.
Nate's version.
Yeah. Okay. It just looked different. I think because it's brighter as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas this is much more. They kind of darkened it to kind of like.
Well, yours would be more realistic, probably from a lighting point of view. But
Yes,
I
the
mean-
ambient light in a cellar would probably be 30 to 40% less.
yeah, certainly in the 1950s compared to now.
Okay.
The filaments.
Okay. So yeah. So go. Sorry.
All right,
They
no
didn't
worries.
have these awesome LED lights.
I just got two more here for my WTF stack. So this is Brave and the Bold number 165, Batman and Man Bat. And
Just
what
brighter.
I
That's what I said.
what I love about this one is that Man Bat is wearing a baby Snuggie. Man Bat is carrying a baby and scream, my baby's dying and it's all your fault, Batman. I just don't even know. Like
I don't even remember them having had a baby.
I don't either, but I
That's
saw
Jim-
saw that and had to have it.
That's Jim Aparo cover, isn't it?
Yes, it would be for Brave and the Bold. The majority of them were Aparo.
Probably. It's not credit. I mean, there's no signature It's not credited. It's just got
Well,
one
if
of
there's
those
no
codes.
signature, it wouldn't be Aparo because he made sure his signature was on everything.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't have a signature. There's a strange mark there, but that's not his signature. All right, and then my last one, and Alan, you had said it too. Like if you just wanted WTF covers, you could just make a show on Lois Lane. So I didn't, even though I have more, and I have. Well,
There's
I have
a lot of Lois.
I have
Lanes
this
out
one too. Like
there.
I
Oh,
did.
nice.
I did a
Nice.
whole video on this one and a couple of others.
I enjoyed it very much.
Oh,
It
thank
was a
you.
great video.
It was one of my favorites to make. This
Mhm.
this story is insane. Like when you read this and go through the whole thing, it's crazy and nonsensical. But as far as like other covers go, I don't have the Curious Black. I don't own that one yet.
Oh,
But
that's a good one too.
yeah, the Devil's Bride, where Lois marries the devil.
The devil.
And shades of shades of Satan. Lois has been turned into a demon, and look whom she's marrying. I love that Superman says "whom," like he uses proper. But if you look, they both have the cloven hooves,
Mhm.
and this was actually kind of a fun story. And it's only so in this book, like this was the only new story, and the one in the back was an old reprint. But that was a fun one and a fun cover. But yeah, I just couldn't get my crap together this week and make that. So I was like, ooh, well, if he
You
invites
gotta
me, I
do
know what I'm
do
bringing.
is just like take 10 minutes, get all the books together, and then just
I'm glad you did it
record.
now, mate.
We
I'm glad
can't
you did it now.
we can't all have access to giant-headed flying babies covers right at the time.
Yeah, but you got a great haul of like
Wow.
WTF books.
Yeah, thank you.
They're pretty good
Yeah.
ones.
Thank you. So
Okay.
that's it. That's my round 2. If we do a
Okay.
round 3, I'm gonna have to do some secret digging and maybe turn
Well,
around and do a little twerking
Just because we saw Satan and Lois get married, here's their
Okay.
son.
Son of
Okay.
Satan.
Son of Satan.
Since you got me big, I might as well do the ones I was planning. I
Okay,
got
and then we'll
this.
even show his big books
Okay.
after.
I got this week after months of waiting for it because I actually liked the first 2 books very much. Fire and Ice 3 finally came out.
Oh,
Linsner?
wow.
I'm not sure.
Is it Linsner? Yeah,
Yes, it is. It's got the signature on it.
it looks like his style. Yeah.
Yeah. So since we're showing a girl there, I thought I'd show 2 romance books I picked up recently. We've got Falling in Love 140, where they're hiding under a dock from some sort of either Coast Guard or small naval ship.
Yeah, the Coast Guard's always trying to find people making out.
Yeah. Hold me. If they find us, they'll take me back to him. That's all she says. Because 2 people, 2 silhouettes under a dock is not, able to be seen at night anyways, unless you're looking directly. Anyway, this is Falling in Love 56. We've got the quintessential love triangle where there's the blonde girl in the red and one guy and two women.
It's always a
And
brunette versus a blonde. It's
Yeah. And it
the
says
battle of the ages.
the brunette is saying, yes, I like him very much. Why hide it? So I guess she believes in if you've got it, flaunt it. At least her horse doesn't have wings.
Mhm.
Are you a Betty or a Veronica?
I'm a cherry blossom.
Nice.
Anyway, here is show. Just to finish with some other good-looking woman. Here's Showcase 98,
Nice.
one of the Power Girl tryouts. And
Who did the cover on that one, Matt?
what?
Who did the cover on that?
Let's see here. I'm not sure. I don't see a signature on it. It looks like Giordano was involved, but I'll look real quick here. Cover Joe Staton, Jick Giordano. So I recognize his inking style. So
Nice.
And the last one I'm going to whip off this round is Wonder Woman 236. Just because it's a really, really nice big shot of Wonder Woman. She's in pain, but it's still a cool picture.
Very nice.
So, somebody else.
Okay, let's. There you go.
I have extricated my Weird Tales.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second
Oh, nice.
Margaret
Very nice.
Brundage cover. And this is from October of 1932.
Wow.
Here is volume 22, number 2 from August of 1933.
Margaret Brundage is awesome. Do you know if she ever did any comics, or just was it all the pulps?
No, as far as I know, that this is all she did, and she died in poverty.
Mhm.
She all of her imaging, all the beautiful work that she had done, and she basically was virtually penniless when she passed. It's very
Well, she didn't
sad.
get paid much to do those.
No, I can't remember how much it was.
I remember looking it up, and it was like really
it's
low.
phenomenal. And
Yeah.
here is volume 22, number 4 from October of 1933.
Wow.
Wow.
And would you say that's like an 8, like in terms of grade?
I don't know how they grade the pulps, Alan. I really don't. I've seen them. I've tried to look at the ones that are in slabs, pictured and what have you. I would say this is at least it's probably a 6 or a 6.5, I guess.
I find that the grades are a little higher than the way you get it with the comic.
It's not. It isn't quite the same as with comics. And in fair, they say, well, it should be absolutely equal. I really don't think that. I think that if a book has made it from 1933 to now in appreciably good shape, which would indicate to me, because of the numbers of these things that have survived, their print runs, Alan, must have been absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, they're mass printed.
But anyway, this is the Action Comics number 1 of Weird Tales, and to a large degree all pulps. This is the biggest one, unless you disagree with me, Alan.
I would no, that's the biggest pulp. It would be all like what's the one? All something? The one with the first Tarzan in it.
Yeah, I don't think that covers a patch on this one.
Oh, it's not as good of a cover. I'm just saying that that's the bigger of that's the ultimate most expensive pulp. But this would be the number 2.
I think over a period of in a while, I think that one. Then I think that these two will be, because if you had your druthers, whether you would druther, would be like if you were a massive pulp collector. But if you're collecting the imagery rather than just the pulp, to say, well, that's the very first pulp. Well, it's really kind of dark and kind of cruddy looking.
Yeah.
And that's just to my
No,
eye.
I agree. I'd prefer that book easily.
And the thing about it, pruriently, I don't look at her chest. Her face draws me in every time, to look at her eyes and how well she drew her nose. Noses are hard to draw. I mean, her nose is perfect. She has this Etruscan sort of Egyptian hand
I'm not sure if that's actually a realistic position. I'm not sure if one can put their arms in that kind of position. But
well, it's a very difficult. I mean, it's an oddball, but it's like Egyptian looking kind of a thing. Maybe she's double jointed in her wrists. I don't know.
Look, I just tried, and I think my back is now out.
Yeah, I tried it too. It didn't work.
I'll show a few more pulps unless you'd rather.
I just found a website that said from the 1920s to the 1940s, up to and including the first couple of years of the World War II, The average print run was 5 million of
Whoa.
each issue.
5
Wow.
million.
They had to
That's
stop printing
insane.
them because of the paper shortages of World War II, but 5 million a month they were selling.
That's insane.
Well, the survival rate is then absolutely infinitesimal if that's the print run.
Well, they more than comic books. They were probably thrown and tossed.
Well,
I
they
would
also
say.
don't survive. They just fall apart. They're
Yeah.
dusty, tattery things at best as it is. Alan loves reading them raw, though. I know he does.
Yeah, right. I really hate pulps. I love the images, but not the books themselves.
This has Robert E. Howard on the inside as well.
Are you going to get that pressed? You can't press pulps, by the way.
Pulps you cannot press because they'll explode. I'm waiting, in answer to your question, I am waiting to let all of the furor die down a bit, but that of all of my pulps, that is one that I will send in
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the value is there. And my friend Dave Alexander had it, and I was talking to him, and I'd passed, and I realized that I really did love that cover. And this was before everything took off. And so I think he had a price of like, I don't know, about $2,700 or $2,800 on it. And the price he had before was, I think, $1,700, $1,750. And he says, and it was my birthday. And so he says, well, for your birthday, I'll just honor the old price and I'll sell it to you. And I said, well, thank you. And then about 1.5 years later, why then everything had just gone completely crazy. And so whenever I try to get a deal from Dave anymore, he goes, he says, yeah, you got that Weird Tales for me. That was the deal of the century. I said, well, do you have any wiggle room on the price for that book? No. So, it was sort of like, you got all the deals you're going to get out of me. So now I ask for his son. And then I bought that one that has the gal behind bars, the Ogden Whitney cover. And his son sold it to me. And then, and I had called Dave to see what he could do. And he says, I said, well, I guess your son already sold it. What did he sell it to you for? And I gave him the price.
He chopped off like almost $1,400.
Well, he took, and Dave says, I wouldn't have sold that to you for that price. I don't know why he sold it to you for that price. Then he says, how do you do it? How do you do it? I said, well, out of the umpteen million that I pay way too much for, every so often, I mean, the blind squirrel finds the nut, right? I love, this is just a bizarre with the kind of red creature with the long tail that goes underneath the bushes and comes all the way up with the point pointing at the back of where the gal in her lingerie is up against whatever kind of a tree that is. And Fu Manchu with his claw-like hands is coming to do whatever nefarious thing he's going to do to her.
That one's awesome.
And you see up in the W of Weird Tales, you'll see the NRA. And that the NRA stands for, Nate, what does the NRA stand for in that?
I have not National Rifle Association.
No.
It's the national.
It's the
national something.
It's the National Relief Association, and this was during the Depression. And the other one was called the CCC, which was the Civilian
Alphabet Company,
Civilian Conservation Corps. And what they did was they found work for men to work because there was no work, because businesses were shot because of Black Friday in 1929. And as a result, that's why here in Oregon, we have all manner of bridges and structural stuff that these guys got basically hired by the government to improve roads and things like that is what they did. And the bridges that they built, there's still quite a few of them on the way down to the beach here on Highway 26. And they have plaques on them. This was made by the NRA. And they put the businesses that would actually help support the people who were trying to find work would have these NRA banners they would put into their windows to show that they were part of it. And then the Civilian Conservation Corps got merged. It was the little sister to the NRA, and then that's kind of how they did that, because we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Well, I know around like where I live, I've seen projects that were done by the WPA, the
Works Progress Administration.
Right.
That was the one. I think that was the merging of the two.
Okay.
I think that the CCC and the NRA ended up being with the yeah.
If I remember correctly, that weren't they merged because of the Supreme Court said that he was unconstitutional the way he was doing stuff. So the new thing was good.
You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, he went high, wide, and handsome on doing things that were illegal during the war. It was a different kind of a time, but our country was just completely screwed by the greed and the buying on margin that occurred in the stock market. And then when it all came due, no one had any money, and the entire thing fell apart.
Yeah.
The Six Sleepers. Seabury Quinn. I always see his name. I wonder what kind of stories he wrote. But all of these are all down here by her foot. You can't really see it, but she signs all of her covers.
Yeah, Brenda. Yeah.
And here is, some of them have very interesting covers. This guy, I don't know what the problem is. He's withholding the goblet of goodness or whatever from her. He's going to throw it on her. And he has a really screwy outfit, but they have
the invention of the wet T-shirt contest.
Isn't this just a great? Jack Williamson did the Ruler of Fate. Isn't this an interesting cover?
Yeah. At first I thought it looked like they were both wearing the same cloak, like it was joined.
Exactly. It's weird how
it looks like it flows onto her.
Yeah, but it's down. His cuts off, and then hers comes underneath.
It looks like her boobs hanging out. By the way.
Well, that's just the clasp. You see, that's not really her nipple. That's a clasp.
Oh, okay.
That's what we call them here in the United States. We call them clasps.
Wow.
This is a really, really fun one.
Oh, yes.
Black Canaan by Robert E. Howard.
Yours is really deep colored.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
I'm all about, you know me, I'm all about the colors, Alan. I'm drawn, if a cover has really, really good covers, even if the grade is a little bit less, but if the book really just, you get all the color out of it that you paid for, that it survived. This one is from June of 1936. Thank you.
For a guy who died so young, Robert E. Howard was so prolific.
Well, he was a very tormented soul. If you've read any of the Conan stories, where they talk about where he's stuck in a castle that he can't see anything and stuff slithering around, or he's in a Pictish forest and they're coming after him in the forest. But Conan was never like Schwarzenegger. He, in Samaria, which is really, really an awful place to grow up, their god's name was Crom. And basically all Crom wanted to do was to hasten their death. Just, live for a while and then die. That was their god. And so they didn't have enough to eat. They're frozen solid. So Conan would have been a very slender and tensile steel type frame, because he would climb up walls and stuff like, castle walls and things, by getting in the chinks of the mortar. And he was a burglar. He was a crook, because it's the only way he could make it. And then he got all tangled up, and then he would save the girl, but then he's hosing her down or whatever. I mean, that was Conan. And of course, he basically took his own life, which is very sad, but he was completely tormented. Now, this book has Robert Howard in it too. And this cover is a very important one, because the artist who did this cover's name was St. John, last name. And St. John had people there were a couple guys that learned at his foot. their mentor or
Like
their
Frazetta.
influence.
Hmm.
And one of the ones who was they're both of them are big names, but the one that I remember just off is Frank Frazetta. And so when you look at Frazetta's Monsters and Women and all this other stuff, where did he come up with the ideas for these misshapen and sort of simian features and sort of throwback weirdness and very Zoftic women? Here it is. This was his. He was his. He was his muse. That's all I think I will show because Alan,
Very nice.
we're going to have a pulp festival here on a Monday or something like that. But I hope you liked them.
I actually brought a few pulps to show if you want me to show.
Well, it's up to you, my friend. You call the shots here.
Okay, I'll show some pulps and we'll wrap it up. Actually, is that okay?
Yeah.
Everyone good?
Yeah. Okay, if you wish.
Okay, so I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna show you my collection of graded pulps. I don't have many, so it's not. I'm not gonna be here all night, but I got a few.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like
What do
it.
you think of the
Super
grading?
Science.
I mean, look at the grades on that. What do you look at that for a 4 or 5? What do you think?
So what I was saying is they grade them a little easier. Okay, so if you look at the back, it's solid. There's no pieces missing or anything. I think, and then if you look at the spine, you can read the whole thing. There's no chips out of the spine. But you can see along because you know how pulps have that kind of overhang.
Yes.
You can see. I'm not sure if you can see that. But
Yeah, I
there
can
is a
see
little
it.
bit of-
Yeah.
I can see. You can see where the tears are starting right there.
Yeah.
Right, just
So-
by juice.
So that's why it's a 4-5, I think, because of that element. But you know, I think they do grade them a little softer.
I think that's all right. I think that it's appropriate that they do, frankly.
Yeah. And here's the next one. Another Planet Stories.
Well, that of course, that cover is in
Planet Stories.
Fiction House. In Fiction House, at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, this
I
one.
know Fight Comics has one just like that, and there's a
And
couple
Planet
others,
Comics has one like it too.
and Planet does too. And what
Yeah.
year was that one?
This one is 1943. I'm not sure which came first. This might have came first. Sometimes it's the pulp that came first, and sometimes it's the comic
comic?
that came first.
And that's Standard that did that, correct? Or Thrilling?
This would be Fiction House.
Oh, it says Fiction House on it.
Yep, it actually
Okay,
says
fair
Fiction
enough.
House.
Because Thrilling and Better and Nidor and there was about 4 or 5 of them. And you know who the major
Artist?
who was the artist?
I think it's covered by Jeremy Rosen.
I'm not familiar with Mr. Rosen, but do you know who was the overall
Jerome.
commander?
Actually, it's Jerome
the,
Rosen. Sorry.
the president of all of this stuff that was his name?
No, I don't know who the president of Fiction House was.
Fiction House was, and he had all these different titles: Standard, Thrilling, Best, Nidor, all that.
No.
Ned Pines.
Oh,
And he
Ned
even
Pines.
had-
I knew that actually. What am I thinking?
You knew that. You
I
knew
knew
that
that, I
right
forgot.
after I told you, Alan.
No, I knew that, but I forgot. And Ned Pine's daughter was married to the guy from one of the other publishers, one of the like Iger or one of those ones, like one of the packaging companies. Yeah, I remember doing a whole thing on one of my Q&A things, so I did know. I just forgot.
Okay.
I'm bad with names. Okay, go ahead. So yeah, so there's that. Here's another Planet Stories. I mean, these pulp slabs are massive, by the way.
I love the sci-fi ones you're showing. I haven't seen many of these.
Yeah, this one is by Jerome Rosen as well. I don't know if I've seen this one done on some other like Planet Comics.
I have not seen
It
that
doesn't
one.
look familiar.
It's weird. It has 2 things going on. You've got cave boy, fur covered boy, and you've got slick invisible outer covering on her pink lingerie with a belt. I've got to say that is one beautiful cover.
She bought Firebrand's costume, so I don't know. It's a similar costume. I
It's
don't know.
coming back full circle.
Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, and then one more Planet Stories. I sort of won a lot of these when on Heritage. You can win pulps really cheaply on Heritage, graded pulps.
What year is that one?
This one is 1950, and it's Alan Anderson cover.
Very nice indeed. That's beautiful. I don't know what
Okay,
she's got, the Earth or the Moon in her hand, or what's going on there.
some kind of orb of some kind. I don't know what it is. Flame Jewel of the Ancients. That's what it says. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's related to this one or not.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then one last one. This is a new one that's going to be in the next unboxing. So if you watch my unboxing series, I'll be showing this one, but you're going to see it here first, anyways.
We'll try to act surprised.
So this is from 1928, and I just sort of like her gossamer gown.
The
very
werewolf's
thin.
daughter. Are they going? Is she the werewolf's daughter going to get her head lopped off, or what's
I
happening?
don't know. Like it's one of those interesting covers because they have like a pyre underneath.
Yeah, they're
them.
ready to burn her, and then you got the guy, the hooded guy with
the guy
axe.
with the axe.
Unless
Yeah.
he's cutting the firewood for the
They're
for
just
the
not
fire.
sure how to get rid of her.
Gonna chop the head off the charred corpse later.
What
yeah,
is
I don't know.
what is the thing hanging by a rope? Just
Well, it's
to
a
the right.
book. I was gonna say that it's like a book. I'm not sure why there's a book there, but
Jeez.
Well,
Really
I'd
odd.
say maybe it's a phone book left over from when that was a payphone.
Who did the cover?
the cover is by C.C. Senith.
It's not like she can.
That's a really cool cover. That is the early trade dress for Weird Tales.
Weird Tales.
Because
This is a very
shipped it-
early Weird
Yeah.
Tales. It's Weird Tales number 61, volume 12. I know it sounds like wow, volume 12, but volume 12, number 4. That just shows you how long Weird Tales has been around, right?
Mhm.
What was it? Six a year or 12 a year?
I think we figured out it was 8 a year.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Because if this is, which volume is that?
it's volume 12.
And here.
Well, if there's 61 issues divided by 12, that's 5 a year, pretty much, isn't it?
It's more. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it was 6 per year. That would make sense too,
I
right?
think
This
it would
could be
be-
the first of the year, right?
I think that's what it is. I think it's every other month, because there's an awful lot of writing they had to do and to print those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depends on the volume. A couple were
yeah,
annual.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, a couple were 12 months, and then it went to bi-monthly.
Oh, okay. So
Reading what I'm
summer
reading
is.
here.
Okay.
But this is early in the actual run of Weird Tales,
And
because what is it, 28? When did they start?
when did it start? 23.
First issue was 1922. March 23. Not March.
23. Okay, so I was right.
23.
Okay.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and this is what, 28.
Yes. So it's
So
5 years.
20, 20 that's 5 years is 60. That's 5 a year.
But Weird Tales, I
At
mean,
this
it went
point.
up into the 50s.
660 would be 12 a year. If 60 issues would be 12 a year.
Yes.
5 times
For
12
5
is
years.
Yeah. That's why I said
Bi-monthly?
12. That's why I said bigger number at first.
Yeah, because if it was bi-monthly, it's 6 a year.
Fair enough. So it's 12
Yeah.
a year every month.
Mm,
Yeah. At this point, but it went to bi-monthly, right? So
Yeah. Again, the
Yeah.
bi-monthly was because of the paper shortages.
but
Actually, it was an allocation, Matt.
Yeah.
It was an allocation, and they had to go to the office of. They had to apply to this office of war materiel in order to justify getting
Mhm.
the paper to print. And so what they did was they dropped from 68 pages down to 52. And some companies removed advertisements so that they could actually print more story, and forewent the advertisement revenue so that they
Foregone.
could basically
Um.
foregone conclusion. And so when they basically then said we own, and then they had a bi-monthly schedule, because then they said for this title you are only entitled to so much paper to actually do this, because all of the different titles that they had to try to keep, because they were trying to keep the businesses going. They were not, they didn't
Yeah, I
want the
know.
businesses to go out of business, but
Mhm.
they
Cheap entertainment keeps the people happy. So
yeah, keeps the masses sassy and happy.
Mhm.
That and the bathtub gin.
yeah.
Delicious bathtub
JX
gin.
is right, by the way.
I'm
There's
blind. I'm blind.
there's a little thing going on in the chat about bi-monthly. Why it doesn't mean 2 months. Bi-monthly always has meant 2 months, and bi-weekly has always meant twice a month. It's just
Yeah.
the way it's always been.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Then what is semi-monthly?
Semi-monthly means twice a month, but not quite bi-weekly. It's twice a month, as in you get paid twice a month. You usually get paid on the 15th and the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So your second paycheck
So
could
the people that get paid
16 days.
bi-weekly,
Guys, I was
every
told there would
2
be no
times
math.
a year get extra.
Say what's
payments.
I said I was told there would be no math.
that?
You're the
now,
teacher.
now
you
we're
should-
now
you
we're
should like
shifting
this
over
stuff.
to chemistry.
Yeah, but when I work, I have an
and-
answer key. I'm not having to do these figures in my head.
Jerry, bi-monthly can be used everywhere else. When you're talking about publishing, bi-monthly means every 2 months. And they will say bi-weekly for twice a month, or they'll say twice a month. It's just the way it has been in publishing the whole time.
And
Semi-monthly is every other month.
No.
I remember
No.
a lot of books would say they wouldn't say bi-weekly. They would say twice a month on the cover.
Exactly, that's
when
what I'm
they
saying.
because
Or
it
they
was so
would say, like,
confusing.
Yes.
Semi-monthly is every other month.
Is it semi-monthly?
I think so.
Maybe. That makes sense if it's semi-weekly is or semi. Wait.
The okay, I've always heard it because I know enough guys in the armed forces. They get paid twice a month.
Mhm.
They get semi-monthly payments, is what
Right,
they all
right.
say.
Yeah.
Twice a month.
Yeah.
And that's
Semi-monthly,
because months have different number of days, so they
So
can't
it's
do a day count.
Semi-monthly is twice a month,
Mhm.
and bi-monthly is every other month.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thanks,
In the real
Alan.
world.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Okay. Okay.
But again, as I was saying, I'm using it just as the publishing term, not necessarily the colloquialism. That's
The
Yeah. it's-
colloquialism. Okay.
Can I remind people to vote for you guys in the Comic Book Community Awards?
Hopefully they didn't watch the stream then.
If you made it to the end, you should still vote because it's normally better. We swear.
I thought
Alan
it was
is
pretty good.
semi-correct.
Biggie.
I like that actually. That's a good answer.
and that's correct.
That's
So,
good.
yeah. In the link, there's a link in the description of this video where you can vote for 3 out of 4 of us. Matt should be in there, but sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
Matt.
not good enough, and that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's force maneuver.
I endorsed you. Steven endorsed you. Hollia endorsed
And
you.
I very appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody who did, but when I've seen the 5 that made it, I'm nowhere near their quality. That includes you there, Nate.
I'm unknown.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
how I,
take
that's-
that,
you-
Matt. He's
you are-
unknown.
that's how
you
I
are
squeaked
the
in.
best unknown, though.
Well, thank you.
See,
But
that's
yeah.
the thing. That's the deal.
And I did, if I remember correctly, I was the first one I knew of that
You are.
nominated Nate.
You are the first person to nominate me, and you are the person who told me the awards existed. Like I didn't know. And I didn't know. Like
Well, if you
I've,
win, you got to act like, oh, this is like a childhood
I've
dream and
always
all that.
wanted this since I was a wee little lad in the old country. I used to tell my peepaw,
like me.
one day, peepaw,
Like me.
You know,
to
I'm
the
good
Sally
with it.
field.
As I said, I'm good with it. My daughter was more upset than me. So
Oh, that makes me
But
sad.
Alan has 3.
Mhm.
Alan is up for 3. He's up for best unboxing.
Semi-vote.
And-
He's up-
and
he's
Get
up
that semi vote in.
Big Lyle. He has unboxing, he has speculation, and then he has our Monday special.
Yep.
And that is the best collaboration or no, continuing
No, best
series
continuous
with
series.
12 or more episodes in the 1,000 to 5,000 tier. Mr. Nate stands alone at the very end, and Hagen, which is Lettuce Comics, is up for Best New Channel.
Mhm.
Please vote for him.
Yeah,
And
vote
then
for Lettuce.
also with Nate for Best Unknown Channel, and we voted those. And then our gang is Bleecker is up for
Church.
Church, and he's
Yep.
also up for Slab or Not to Slab.
And
K-pop.
K-pop is up for practically everything.
Yeah, she's
Everything.
all over
And
the
then,
place.
Then Ryan for Automatic Comics and Mike from Lunch Money Comics. These are all people. I confess to you all that the other people that were there are honestly some of the shows I've never even heard of before.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I know
was
about the quality of the ones that were my sphere of influence or whatever. Seeing
Mhm.
those things, I think is very, very good. And I would have voted for the Immortal Biggie Shack for speculation, except that Alan, I think, has been doing a lot more speculation, at least at this juncture. And then when Biggie gets to his 10,000, why then I'll be able to vote for both of them because they'll both be in the same. They'll be in different quadrants then, or different tiers.
Mhm.
And there's no tiers in comics.
And honestly, I'm at the time of this broadcast, I'm at 242 subscribers,
Oh, wow.
which is way more than I thought I would be at this point. I've only been doing this for 4 months, and as I said, I'm appreciative of everybody who's taken the time to watch. Some days I don't understand it. Some days the shorts I do just fly through the roof, and I get 600-700 views. Other days, my regular videos where I talk about things, they're all holding steady. I usually get 50 to 100 views per week, and I appreciate everybody who watches. I'm going to keep going. I wasn't feeling well for a while, but I'm getting over it. So hopefully be able to start filming some videos again.
Very good.
Well, but yes, Jerry the Jitterbug is another channel.
Jerry the Jitterbug, definitely adrift.
And give CJ a bit of love, you know.
Oh
for
yes,
best
Comic
hands.
Journey.
I did
CJ
vote for CJ
for best
Man.
hands, hands, hair.
Beard
Actually, I didn't
was
really
another
like
one.
the other
Ears,
choices. If Bleecker
whatever.
was in there, I would have.
Really, teeth. But his hands are his trademark, and he has to be upset all the time because that's his oeuvre. That is his raison d'etre. He's upset about it. But I wanted to just say this one thing to you. There is one thing that he does love, truly love. And if you basically contact him on Instagram or in YouTube, he loves stickers. And he has a sticker of a little blue guy's face. And if you ask him for stickers, he'll send them to you. He loves stickers. That's it. See, he sent one to Alan. And the thing about it too is that he's incredibly gracious about it too. So whenever you have an opportunity to bring it up with CJ, the stickers thing is very big, and of course some of that's because of the Sticky Goose thing. You know, there was the sticker people and stuff, and he says, "Oh no, I am a sticker person, and I stand beside that." So I just wanted to give you that little heads up for all of you.
I think stickers are awesome. My daughter loves putting them on her skateboard.
Bleakers as well.
I just ordered some stickers because why not?
Cool.
And I was thinking of doing the same thing, but I've decided to wait.
Whenever my comic gets printed, the guy said he was going to send me a bunch of stickers.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to have my
Speaking of which, have you had a chance to do your final okay of the stuff so it can be printed?
No, he hasn't sent it to me yet.
Still?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was imminent. What's
my wife already half jokes I'm half in love with you, Alan.
Oh yeah, you have like the mug, you have everything. It's like the fan club. It's great.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay, so thanks everyone for hanging out. And
thanks for having me again, man. It's good to see you guys.
By the way, anything that we should inform people about that you guys are doing?
Well, you know what? Actually, speaking of Kickstarter, on Wednesday, I have Brandon Ingram he's doing a Kickstarter for a book called Gallows Man that he has
He
done.
reached out to me too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
read. That wasn't bad. It was
Not
okay.
no, I enjoyed it, and I appreciate a good hustle, and this kid is working hard, so
Yeah, you can tell him to reach out to me again too, and
Okay, I will.
I'll interview him. I just didn't have a chance to get
No,
back
no.
to
I
him.
mean, I saw him on Brian LCS just had him on a couple of days ago, and so I caught some of that, and it just sounds like he really is. He's just promoting the heck out of this. I think his Kickstarter is fully funded at this point, so
Oh, that's good.
good for him. And yeah, I just thought it would be kind of cool to do that. So that's going to be Wednesday at 7. I don't know.
Are you doing it as a live stream or just?
I am. I'm going to do it as a
nice.
live stream. So I'll have a thumbnail up on Monday, so you can get notified of it. But that's
Fair enough.
Gonna do
And
that next week.
I can't give you a date yet, but I will have a celebratory live stream when my arrives, because I will have finally completed a run I've been trying to complete for a long time. So I'm going to come on and unbox it, and if anybody wants to join me, they're more than welcome.
Metal
Come
Man,
in.
Angel and the Ape, Sea Devils.
Yeah, Angel, yes, Sea Devils and Angel of the Eight.
What is
Anyway, so once that package arrives, I'm going to open it live, and I'm just going to have a little celebration, whatever.
Yeah,
And other than that, I've got what's coming. Tuesday, Thursday next week. I'm showing what I got at the Comic-Con. I've got a story one tomorrow, so. And I'm hoping that you guys enjoy what I put up. So,
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. Then bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.